peeling back the onion. Welcome, this is Glennis, creator of Shredding Silence, and today we're talking about peeling back the layers of healing after narcissistic abuse. And I just wanted to say real quick, I am not a therapist or a counselor. Everything I talk about comes from my lived experience and what I learned through going through my own healing. I did study psychology in college and made the National Dean's List, so I value that knowledge too. But this space is really about real life healing in real time. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So, what is healing really? I didn't even know what healing was at first. I didn't know what it meant. I thought it meant once you go no contact from the narcissist, you cut them off, you never go back. And it's not that. But honestly, when you're in that kind of pain, it doesn't feel like healing is even possible until you break the trauma bond. I want to give you a balloon analogy. When you're with a narcissist and you're operating out of trauma, picture a balloon that you're holding it under the water and you're pushing everything down, your instincts, your emotions, your truth. You're shrinking, you're suppressing, you're ignoring what you feel. And then something triggers you. And what happens to the balloon? Poof. It bursts. It doesn't gently rise, it explodes. And you collapse with it. But stick with me because I'm going to show you how to stop that balloon from bursting. And before I walk you through these layers, I need to say something that doesn't get talked about enough. Healing sounds good in theory, but in reality, it's not linear, it's messy, it's painful, and it can feel incredibly lonely. Because we don't avoid healing because we're lazy. We avoid it because it hurts. Nobody wants to feel pain. None of us. So it's natural to want to avoid that, distract ourselves, stay busy, scroll, clean, work, alcohol, drugs, whatever. We overthink. Thank you for the hearts and welcome in, everybody. We do anything but to sit in what's actually coming up. So we numb it, we deny it. Hi, Anaya, I hope I said your name correctly. We push it away and we pretend it's not there. We shove it under the rug. That is your nervous system protecting itself. It's not weakness. Your brain learned from early on to avoid pain to keep you safe. And also the hardest part about healing is there's no cheerleaders. There's no one clapping going, yay, you just faced a painful truth. You're awesome. There's no one celebrating you as you peel back these layers. It is completely isolating and lonely. Like nobody sees you. Because this is where you get into the deep parts of yourself and you learn to see yourself. It happens quietly, alone in your mind. Peeling back the layers of things that you were conditioned to believe, not only in that narcissistic relationship, but as a child. You're conditioned to believe things that aren't true about you. You know, it's no joke working through all of that and the chitter chatter. Hi, Stargazer. Welcome in, everybody. Hi. Yeah, I thought I'm healed, but every time I wake up every morning, it sucks. And you know what? I want to say something about that. And hi, Akin. Thank you. Hi, Deanna. Yeah, you feel like you're not healing and like you're backtracking, or you just took like 10 steps forward and 50 steps back. And you're like, what the heck is going on? And it's like you're starting all over again. And this is where it gets confusing because you'll think you're doing better and then something hits you out of nowhere. And so suddenly it feels like you're back at the beginning. Thank you for all the hearts. You're right at the beginning, but you're not starting over. You're going deeper. You're peeling back another layer. You know, you're dealing with more, you're getting down deeper, digging in the dirt. And I don't know. I tried to put this on a green screen because I made a chart. You guys can go in the community tab right now if you want to follow along, but it shows you the different layers of healing. So I created that, guys, for you. I'm sorry I can't put it here in the screen. I'm still new at this YouTube live thing. It's so different from TikTok. But if you guys can go look at that, because when I felt like I was going backwards, I needed to understand what was actually happening. So I made this visual. Um, I want to walk you through each layer. The first layer is the surface layer of what happened. When you're in that narcissistic abusive relationship, this is where it starts. The relationship, the narcissist, the betrayal, the pain is what you can see. And this is where a lot of people think that healing ends. But it's just the surface. This is that top layer of the onion. And that's what I thought. How many of you thought that you leave the narcissist and then everything's great, right? No. So you start asking yourself, why does this keep repeating? Why? You notice the patterns, the people pleasing, the over explaining, the fear of abandonment, all operating out of trauma. Yeah, I don't know, Deanna, but we sure need her in here. Yeah, we got a live one. She should be on soon. Let me see if I can make you a moderator as well, if you wouldn't mind. I gave you permission. Oh, she's in here now, but now there's two of you. So, Deanna, did you get the permissions to be a moderator? Because I made you one as well. Hi, Katie. I'm glad you made it. So I'm getting into the layers now. The layer 2 is the patterns after you get out of the narcissistic relationship. I was talking about how a lot of people think that, oh, there it is. Always one in the group, isn't there? You see that, Katie? Yes, we don't need that negative energy in there. Yes, thank you, Maria. So, where was I? Let's get back on track, because that's how they come in here to throw you for a loop, and that's not happening. We're not allowing that. So we start noticing patterns, the people pleasing, the over explaining, the shrinking ourselves. And this is where it gets uncomfortable, because now it's not just about the narcissist anymore. Thank you, Deanna. I appreciate you so much. You and Katie, thank you so much. So you start seeing yourself in it. And this is something that I really had to sit with. And we talk about how, like, narcissists wear the mask, but what people don't talk about is we wear one too. We wore one. Not in the same way, though. Not to manipulate, not to control, but to survive. Our nervous system's protecting ourselves. We learn to hide parts of ourselves. We shrank, we softened, we adjusted, we became who we needed to be to keep the peace, to manage other people's emotions, to stay safe. And that's where people pleasing comes from. It's where over explaining comes from, where the fear of abandonment comes from. But that wasn't weakness. Like I said before, it's just your nervous system trying to protect you. We learned that. It wired our brains into, fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. And this is where your awareness begins, because you go deeper into that. Where did this start? You start digging around. Childhood wounds, the conditioning, the attachment patterns. This is where you realize, like shit hits the fan. It didn't just start with them. It started way before them. So have you guys noticed, are you in that level of your healing where you're going into your childhood and you see the patterns from that, from growing up? Like, wow, like the foggy mirror that I talked about in the last live, where the fog starts clearing, you start seeing things and going back into your life and seeing the patterns. Thank you, Deanna. So it leads you back after you get into those patterns of childhood trauma. The question is, who am I now? Because now everything is shifting. Once you go from the narcissist, you get away from that. You start digging into the dirt deeper with your childhood stuff. And then you question, so who am I? because you are never allowed to be yourself. You start building boundaries now with self-respect. You start choosing yourself. And this is where it feels so unfamiliar because we're not used to that. We're used to shrinking. But you're not the same version as you were before. It's totally uncharted waters. Rewiring your brain, rewiring all the negative messages in your mind that you were conditioned to believe over your lifetime. This is where this is an important milestone. If you guys have gotten to this part, this is where responding replaces reacting. You don't just shoot off the hip anymore. When someone comes at you with something, you don't feel like you have to over explain and defend yourself. You just stay quiet. It's like you're watching a movie and you observe that person, because 9 times out of 10, they are projecting their own unhealed stuff onto you. And so when you learn to slow down, to think before you react, so you have a response, and sometimes people don't even deserve that response at all. You learn how to have discernment and save your energy and protect that at all cost. So this is where responding replaces reacting. Have you guys gotten to that place where you notice that you're able to slow down and not let someone trigger you like that? You're able to see it for what it is, be quiet and observe. Yeah, there's so much power in that. I know Katie just went through that. We got a Jesus and a Satan here together. Oh boy, it's a party, ain't it? So you're not the same version of yourself anymore, and you replace the reacting with responding, and integration comes in. This is layer 5. If you guys were able to access that chart, this is the top layer 5 of integration, where you start to feel natural again. You learn who you are. You respond instead of react. And peace doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like a punishment. It feels like a gift. You learn to embrace it and never want anyone to disrupt it. You feel aligned and empowered and whole. You're not perfect, but you're grounded. And then you can go back and forth through this, because as we all know, like, healing isn't linear. So it'll be like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down. Dang, I missed something. What did you miss, Katie? I can go back over it. Just let me know what's the last thing you heard. And I want to bring into this into your body and your nervous system. Your body keeps score. I believe that is a book. I have not read it yet. I don't know if any of you guys have read it here. But through every single one of these layers, your body is involved. Our body knows things before it hits our brain. And when you have unprocessed childhood trauma or any type of trauma, it's not allowed to complete itself. That's what keeps you from healing. And what I mean by that is, like, you're told to shove things down. When you shrink for somebody else, you don't process those feelings. You just, you zip it up and everything. That stays in your body. And it comes out in a negative way. Like the balloon analogy I gave you, take a balloon and put it underwater, blow it up and put it underwater and shove it down. Keep shoving it down, keep shoving it down. And then when something triggers you, that balloon pops up and it explodes, because you have not processed those emotions and everything that goes with that. So you're going to go back to numbing whatever you did that was not healthy, instead of sitting with those emotions. Let me read this comment right here. The toughest part for me was when he started the smear campaign. Even though after discarding me, I stayed silent even when it hurts. He did this knowing that I was grieving because my mother just died. Oh, wow, that is super heavy. That is so heavy. And they use your most vulnerable parts when someone in your family dies. Mr. Jesus, troll, bless you, troll. Oh, that's what she's talking about. Yeah, and just sit with that. Sit with that you did not deserve. him treating you like that. And the smear campaign, once you realize what they're doing is because they've lost control over you, you are gaining your power back, and that freaks them the hell out. So they have to maintain that image and do that smear campaign. And they don't have any empathy as far as, like when your father passed away or your mother passed away, they don't care. Been there, done with that with that as well. My son died, and I went through that whole thing, the smear campaign, all of it. But once you see that they're just trying to maintain their fake mask, it makes it easier because it weeds people out of your life that weren't really there to have your back anyway. I'm so sorry you went through that. Narcs love seeing you in pain, and they have to keep their stream of energy going. Yeah, and they live off that pain. Whether it's, yeah, they act like nothing happened after that because they don't care. They just use people. That's all they do. It's full of deception, lies. They're really a sad existence. Yes. Sorry for your loss. Did you guys go home with your phone? Not sure what you mean by that, Carter. So when I was talking about, I'm sorry to hear about your grandpa. Was this recent? So that lives in your body. When you stay silent, when you were talking about how you stayed silent and then your mother died and the smear campaign happened and all that, sit with those feelings. Acknowledge that they're there. Cry if you have to. Do whatever you have to process those emotions so they don't stay stuck within your body. And then you can heal that. And it doesn't feel like anything extravagant is happening when you're doing this, but something is happening. And when I talk about, getting it out of your nervous system, because if you don't process that, like emotions come out of nowhere. And you don't understand while you're pissed off for no reason, like nothing in particular happened, but all of that stuff is building up, and you're biting people's heads off, or you're sobbing uncontrollably. It lives in your nervous system. That's why you feel exhausted all the time. That's why healing feels so physical. You get headaches, you get stomach aches, all of it. Your body is trying to process what it never got to finish. It's defrosting. Here's another analogy. Your body is defrosting when you are healing. All those emotions that were frozen start coming back online. That's why it feels worse before it gets better, because you're like, what the heck? I'm away from the narcissist. I'm not being abused anymore. So why am I feeling like this? It's because you're getting deeper and deeper into the healing. You're processing. You're moving the emotions instead of them being stuck in your body. They're allowed to flow through. And then you get that relief. And it's tiring. That's why how a lot of you guys tired here, like you're just tired all the time. No matter how much sleep you get, you just feel exhausted because it takes a lot out of your body. It's like detoxing. Like the analogy I gave last week, when you lose weight, I don't know how many of you here have tried to, but when you're starting to eat healthier, you're drinking more water, you're exercising, your body has to push all of that out, and you feel worse before better because you're going through detox. It's the same thing as like a drug addict or an alcoholic. Anything that you're addicted to lives inside your body, and it's unprocessed. So your body is coming back online. Do I know Michael? I'm not sure. Every time I remember them, my stomach aches, and I lost weight too. Yes, that'll happen. It's definitely a physical thing. And it can feel overwhelming, but it's not a breakdown, it's a release. Healing is not linear, it's layered. You don't revisit the same wound. You'll find that new memories are coming up, and you revisit at a deeper and deeper level. But I want to give you signs that you are healing. Let me read this comment. Narcs all act from the same playbook. They all love to place you in torture. Yes, because of the empty, hollow souls that they are within, they have to suck that energy out of you. whether it's negative attention that they get from you or positive attention, and they'll take it all from you as long as they're allowed to. Thank you for the hearts. So signs, what are some signs that you are healing? Do you guys have you noticed anything in your journey that you are healing? I'm going to give you guys a second to answer. I hope that you're able to recognize that you did not deserve any of that. I hope that you're able to eat food now and take care of yourself. Self-care. Maria says my self-respect. That's good. Yep. Dopamine release feels extreme, like an out of control roller coaster. Yeah. Self-respect. I know one of the first signs that I saw was learning to pause instead of react with anything. Not necessarily even someone that you're maybe having an argument with, just maybe a disagreement, or you think they meant something that maybe wasn't what they meant because you're going off of old programming. Really paying attention to what your thoughts are. Let's see, this person said this and I'm feeling this. Is this the truth or is this old programming? When you're able to recognize that and sit with it and just be calm rather than reacting like this, you're rewiring your brain to respond in a different way, to ask questions, to have curiosity. Let's see, if the first thing that comes to your mind, well, that person doesn't like me, or they said this and that pisses me off, or they didn't remember this, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be some kind of argument or full-blown, cussing and throwing shit and all that. Just recognizing the wounds that brings up, and question yourself, your thoughts. Geez, what could that person have meant? And ask them. Have curiosity. Instead of romanticizing my past experiences with him, I can finally see that everything was all a lie. That's why it hurts so much. Like I woke up from a 4-year nightmare. Yes. And once you realize everything was a lie, then you have to give yourself grace to grieve that, because they were deceptive and you were in it for real, and it does hurt a lot. But I know one thing that helped me move on from that was to know that they're going to do that with everybody. It wasn't just you. They will do it. They're not going to flip a switch and automatically stop treating people like that, because they have not learned. They can't even stop and reflect on their behaviors. So they're going to repeat the same thing. Wash, rinse, repeat. Hi, Honey Pepper. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Maria, is it normal to feel rage? Absolutely. Absolutely. And give yourself the permission to feel that, because you were duped. They deceived you from day one, and you were in it for real. And they continued to manipulate you, to lie to you, to gaslight, to cheat, to blame shift, all of it, to make you just so disoriented. You don't know if you're coming or going. So absolutely. Feel the anger, sit in it, acknowledge it, saying, I see you, punch a pillow, get that out of your nervous system so it doesn't stay stuck there. And for people will shame you for feeling rage. People will shame you for not forgiving the narcissist. I don't believe in any of that. It's not a part of healing. You should not have to be shamed for feeling normal human emotions. It is 100% okay to be angry. We are all angry when we get through this. Yes, Katie says, feel everything you need to see and feel it. Write it down, scribble it, kick rocks. Don't hurt anybody, of course. Kick rocks where it's not going to hurt somebody. But process that. Punch a bag. Go running. Go yell. Turn up some music. I play metal music at 40. No less than 40 in my truck on the way to work, on the way home. And I get it all out. All out, everything. I started doing Tai Chi. I started doing, what do you call it? I'm getting brain fog again. I forgot the word. Damn it. Anyways, I'm doing exercise, somatic, that's the word. Somatic exercises to move that through your body. Whatever avenue works best for you, take that and run with it. And that's part of self-care, part of healing. Get it all out of your nervous system. Hi, Kelly. Nice to see you. I'm glad you made it in. And Honey Pepper, how are you all doing? What level? I don't know if anybody was able to pull up that chart in the community. Um, Trauma brain memory loss sucks. Absolutely, it does. Oh, I'm glad you started yoga, Maria. But I don't know if you guys were able to go in the community. I made a chart that it goes the 5 levels of healing. I tried to get it up on a green screen here, but I'm still learning YouTube lives. I think this is maybe my, I don't know, 5th one. Fresh produce is always a nice addition. Yes, your how you eat. I'm still having to work on that. How many of you are still working on that? Hydrating, eating healthy foods, not processed foods, getting enough sleep, not feeling guilty because you need the sleep, because this stuff will kick your ass. Healing kicks your butt. It is normal. Normal to feel so tired even after you've gotten like 8 to 10 hours of sleep. I know Katie can vouch for that. Yes, vitamins, supplements, just whatever self-care, take walks, get outside, get the sunshine, and reprogram those negative messages from when you were a child all the way up to the narcissist, because it didn't start there. It did not start with that narcissist. It goes way back. Feel better when I eat a good fresh salad. I need to start eating more salads, Deanna. Thank you for reminding me about that, because you get home from work and you're just so tired, and start using the crock pot more. I need to start using the crock pot. But after you guys start doing that, you start moving the trauma out of your body. Sit with those feelings, allow yourself to cry, get the exercise, turn up heavy metal and scream at the top of your lungs. I go in like I said, in my pickup truck on the way to work, on the way home from work, and I turn it up. Whatever your genre of music is, or maybe classical, maybe you need something calming, whatever it takes to move that out of your body, because it's not only just in here. That's why a lot of people they don't understand why they're healing. Like, I'm away from the narcissist. I'm not getting abused anymore. It's because your body is holding on to it and remembers. Hashimoto's autoimmune exhaustion is never ending. The narc loves to smear and tell everyone you're lazy. Yeah, well, you know where the narc can go. Me too, rock and roll soothes my soul. Let them sit in their own filthy diaper. The narcissist, trust me, you guys, they are dealing with their own karma, because you cannot lead a happy, healthy life when you are going person after person, jumping after jumping, swinging rope, monkey branching from person to person, doing the same thing. They are their own karma. So let's focus on our healing, moving all that stuff out of our bodies. And then, remember I told you about that balloon analogy? So once you start doing all this, you learn how to breathe, process your emotions, sit with that. There's no shame in feeling emotions. That's one thing that we are taught as young children, to suck it up. It's not that bad, or somebody else has it better, has it worse. And the shame that goes with that, throw that all out. Like, I imagine a broom coming and just sweeping that stuff out with a dustpan. Like, out you go. And bring in the positive stuff. Those things aren't true about you. They never were. They aren't now. Let me get these. Kelly says, yes, I know what you're talking about. My mother was a covert narcissist, 54 years of control before I even met him. Been in therapy for almost 3 years. Thank you for your videos. I'm so glad, Kelly, that you're awake to all that. I had a mother that was a narcissist as well, adoptive mother, so I feel you on that. Years of control, yeah. And I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here. I'm glad that the videos help you. That's the whole purpose of this. I am healing in real time with you guys, because I am processing this along with you. And I don't want anyone to I want to get the message out there so badly. I have to calm my own nervous system a lot. Like, there's so much to do with this channel because I just, it burns with a passion to help people navigate through this, because this is what I wish someone would have held my hand and helped me through this, but I had to go through it alone like so many of us do. What is that? Unruly peasant, don't forget how cortisol affects your body. I am going through exhaustion myself. Yeah, the cortisol and the stress, even though like if you eat healthy and if you're still, your cortisol levels are up here, if you don't move that through your body, the stress will eat up all that healthy food. It'll be like a wash. So they go hand in hand. You have to replace everything they took and then some more for you. You're adopted. Hi, Kelly. Oh, I'm finding my adoptees in here. I'm glad you guys found your way over here. Grateful for tubes, so I learned about those covert types. I thought narcs were extroverted. Yeah. The last narc I was with was one of the worst, and he was a covert. I believe covert malignant are the most dangerous types because they use kindness as a weapon, and it looks like they're so helpful, they're so charming. I thought because we were together all the time that meant love, that proximity does not equal love. Someone coming home every night does not equal love, because the minute you turn your back, you know what they're doing. Something dirty, sticking their hand in the cookie jar. So I'm so glad. Yeah, covert is, and then there's so many different levels and signs, and it gets overwhelming. And I thought, wow, I'm out of this narcissistic relationship, but yet here I'm meeting another type. When I got out of this last one that was 7 years, I ran into a communal narcissist. He volunteered all the time. He was a caregiver. He did this and that. And the one thing that helped me discern that he was not a safe person was, this will always stick out in my memory. We went to a tattoo shop and we were comparing tattoos, and I showed him my tattoo, and there's a meaning behind my tattoo that I wanted to share with him to connect. And he immediately cut me off and started talking about his tattoo. And there was other things like that, just dismissive, not interested in who I was as a person. And I'm just like, this feels all too familiar. So you don't necessarily have to know the label, whether they're a covert, whether they're an overt narcissist or a communal narcissist. Pay attention to how they make you feel. That is the first and foremost, trusting your gut instinct. Like, your body is going to know, hey, this feels familiar and I don't like it. And you keep observing. And once you see patterns, you know that's the time to exit stage left, because we're not doing this again. No. Okay, let me catch up on these comments. Not to mention the narc in my life was serving inside the church. Oh, my trauma went 100%. Oh my gosh, that is like a narcissist playground right there. I know you guys have heard lots of stuff about people in the church. They are so helpful and they seem like they're doing the right thing, and they have this complete different mask on, and then everybody, I ran across a video the other day, and I wish I could put it in here. Learn how to play, videos inside the live so you could see her mother. She was talking about her mother who was in the church, and everybody just, believed them, and nobody believed her about how her mother was, because she was this leader high up in the church. And that's when you feel so isolated. They are so convincing of who they are. That's crazy. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Oh yeah, for real, I married one of those gives the shirt off his back person. Yeah, that's the one I came from too. So helpful. Go out of his way to open doors, pick up groceries for people. It was a bonus if it was a female. Narcs come in all shapes, colors, and ages. They come with a sign to inform you, just deception to coerce you. Yep, unruly. Thank you, praying for all of us trying to heal from these demonic people. I love that username, Unruly Peasant. Yes, it's demonic. I will pray for you too. Yes, so true. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to go back to the balloon analogy, you guys. I wanted to get on here with some actual water and a balloon, but I didn't want to make a mess all over the place. So earlier I said, you know, when we don't process our emotions and they stay stuck in our body, it's like a blown up balloon and you're shoving it under the water. So when something triggers you, that balloon comes up and then it bursts open and you collapse. You know, you react. It's you react in rage or whatever unhealthy way that it comes out. But when you process all this trauma through your body and you learn how to respond versus react, and you learn how to regulate yourself, this is where the balloon changes. So instead of it rising up and bursting, it slowly releases and it's peaceful. I got chills right now just saying that because I've experienced that. How many of you guys have experienced that? Where it feels like the balloon is slowly releasing instead of like a freaking volcano or like a blender with the lid off of it, you know, and everything's just freaking crazy. Once you can start trusting yourself, you navigate through life better. Yeah, it makes a lot of things better, and you conserve your energy because you learn that not everybody deserves your energy. You know, especially the older you get, you're like you just can't deal with the crap anymore. It gets very old. So you don't explode from those triggers. You process them. You stay grounded. That is healing. So healing is becoming. It's not really becoming someone new, although it is. It's returning to who you were. It's taking off that mask and not shrinking for anybody ever again. And you're not falling apart. You're coming back to yourself. Satan has church knowledge also. Oh, yeah, Satan knows the Bible like the back of his hand. I'm almost 60. Yeah, me too. I'll be 59 this year, Kelly. I think we got our Gen Xers in here. How many Gen Xers in here? And what layer do you guys feel like you're in right now? I have found a way to get you, if anybody wants to come on here live and talk, you don't have to show your face if you don't want to. It can just be the microphone on. I found a link to give you. Whoever wants to come in here, I'm going to see if I can put it in the chat. See if I can do this. How? I can't even pin message. Okay, how do I even... It's not letting me respond in my own chat. Deanna, Gen Xer, yay. Unruly Peasant, Gen X. Hey, here's all our tribe. All right, I don't know how to do this. Thank you guys for being patient with me as I learn this. When I go live, I don't edit these things. I don't have a filter on my face. This is the real raw me because I want you guys to have a place to feel like this is real. This is messy. This is not rehearsed. I mean, I have notes to try to keep me on track, but yes, and adopted. So is there 3 of us in here that were adopted? How many other adoptees in here? And why can't I comment on my own video, my own live? This is weird. Okay, so I don't know how I'd give you guys these links. If any, I don't know if I click on your name. Man, why is YouTube so difficult? Eventually I'll get this. I'll keep doing this, and eventually I will have this down. So thank you guys for your patience with me as I learn with you and I heal with you. All right, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to get you guys the link. If anybody wanted to come on here and talk about any of these layers or what layer you're in, you know, your moments of being your own cheerleader, going, hey, I used to not respond like this before. This is something new. Anything you want to talk about, let me know. Let those triggers happen, but lessen your energy towards it. Absolutely. Oh, this is so weird. Chat filter, automatic translate. I don't know, you guys. I got the link, but now I don't know. So this is kind of like a free chat now. I pretty much went over everything. If anybody missed anything, let me know. If you guys were able to see that chart in the community tab I posted, take your time. We appreciate you for creating a safe space. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm not able to figure it out. And YouTube is so different from TikTok because TikTok allows you to kind of, you don't actually go live. It's like a practice thing, and YouTube you can't do that with. So I'm fumbling around here. Where do we find the community tab? Okay, so how do I explain it? Let me see if I can show you on my TV. I'll turn my video around and I will go to my channel and then putting the pieces together. Okay, so I'm going to turn the screen around. Let me see if I can. So when you're on my channel and you go down videos, I don't know if it's different on your phone though. So I don't know if you play my videos on your phone or the TV, but if you're on your phone now or able to go on the TV or vice versa, you let's see. I've never been in the community, I don't think, on the TV. So let me see. Thank you for your patience again, you guys. I don't know. Live now, videos. Okay, where's TV is so different from the phone. Okay, I have another idea. So let me turn this back around. Let me pull it up on my computer because I know I can get it on my computer. And then I will show you that screen, or actually I can even pull up. Let me do this. I'll show you the community tab first because I want you guys to have access to that, because you can post in there any questions or like any videos or lives you want me to talk about something in particular. We connect more in the community. So let me get on there. YouTube, my computer's really super slow, you guys. I think I'm gonna need a new computer, or this needs to be like cleaned out. I have so much crap on here. Could it be in your description? No, it's a different tab. Like if you go to someone's page, because it's not showing me on the TV. So if you go to someone's page and then you can see like across the top, it'll say videos, shorts, lives, and different things on there. That's where it's at. It'll say community tab. Who else is in here? All right, hang on, you guys. I'm getting there. It's just my computer's being really slow. No, I never paid enough attention in school for computers. Okay. Oh, you found it? Oh, good. Okay, but I'm going to pull it up here. YouTube. Yeah, I think I have so much stuff on this computer. My memory is like diminishing on it. Well, all right, view your channel. All right, let me turn this around again. So it's very slow right now. Okay, so see, for anybody else who didn't get it, so when you come on my page, you see right here it says videos. Those are the long form videos, and then here's my shorts, here's the lives, playlist, post, and the community's up here in the right corner. So you click on that. My computer's very, very slow. Okay, so here's the community, and let me go down and find it. So here's the levels right here that we went over on this live. How it starts at the bottom with the surface The surface level, when you're in that relationship with the narcissist and then you break up, all the betrayal, you're thinking, what the hell happened? And then you get into the patterns. Once you break all of that, you're no contact with them, and then you get some peace back in your life. Then you get into the patterns. Why? You start looking back at your life. Why does this keep happening? Because I don't know about you, but my whole life has been nothing but toxic relationships, narcissist, just toxic, avoidant people. You get into the people pleasing, the over explaining, the fear of abandonment, and then it's stored in your body over here. It's stored until it's processed. It means moving the trauma out of your body, so you feel safe again, and it's rooted back. I talk about generational trauma is where it all started. Childhood wounds, the conditioning, attachment patterns. Are you an anxious avoidant attachment, or are you just the negative, toxic, unhealthy attachment patterns? And then your identity. Who are you now? You're learning boundaries, you're learning self-respect, you're learning to recognize red flags, learning people's patterns, letting them show you who they are and believing them when they show you. And then you get into the integration. How do I live now? Responding instead of reacting. Peace that finally feels natural, that you embrace, like you're so thankful for it. You feel aligned and empowered and whole. And then you can drop back down. Hopefully we don't go back down here though. You can go back and forth between these. Hopefully you're deciding to stay single for a while until you can learn healthy patterns, healthy relationships, and choose someone that meets you at a reciprocal level. You're welcome. Yes. And if you were adopted into it, it's like a whole... I want to get more and more into adoption, some lives. I want to find some more adoptees. I know there was someone else in here that said earlier they were also adopted. I don't know if they're still here. Because adoption is trauma. It's not this happy thing that people think it is. And if you've been through that, you know what I mean. So as whoever was adopted is still in here. Any other adoptees in here that have been through narcissistic abuse, or you don't even have to have been through narcissistic abuse, just adoption in itself is trauma. Childhood generational trauma attracts narcissist and psychopathic individuals like a bright neon beacon. It does. We are the prime targets for a narcissist because we already feel abandoned. We're already like looking for that validation outside of ourselves that we didn't get. Because to me, I've heard 9 times out of 10, most adoption stories aren't happy. They weren't healthy childhood upbringings. Sorry guys, I'm peeling a mandarin orange and it's not very easy to peel right now. So whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm kind of just leaving the live open for now. Whatever, if you want to talk about healing, the levels, whatever's on your mind, it's just kind of open. And I did figure out earlier before I started the live how to give somebody a link, but then when I went live, the screen was black. So I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't know if there's any YouTube gurus in here that know why that might be happening. Anybody else that knows how lives work? Because I really would like to get people on here to be able to talk. So whatever you guys want, wherever you guys want this to go right now, as far as healing, trauma, what you're going through, what you're struggling with. I keep thinking that he's going to change for his new supply. I don't know, it's so toxic. You know what? That is so normal. All of us go through that. But once you, I don't know if your name's Amy. All I see is AM. But once you realize that they are narcissists, they are not going to change for the next person. I mean, look how hard it is for us to heal and change the wiring in our brain, and we are not narcissists. So they just are not, they can go through therapy. Like, I don't know if you've heard of Lee Hammock. He's a self-aware narcissist. He's very well known on social media. Um, he's worked very hard. I think it's been 7 or 8 years now he's been in therapy, and he is married. But the thing about that is it can be very dangerous for you because that is extremely rare. For a narcissist to even have that self awareness to take themselves to therapy, um, they are still narcissist. Their brains are still wired the same way. Like, he might be aware, but he still has the the wiring in his brain, like when it comes to empathy, that anterior insula part of your brain, they lack gray matter in that area. And they've been stunted as children. I think it's like at a young age, like 7 or 8 years old or something. They get stunted and stuck in that age, and they never evolve. They never grow into their adult bodies, but they still have a childlike mindset. That's why they can never take accountability. They can never sit and reflect on their emotions, like, wow, I really hurt that person. What can I do to change that? You will never find them going there. Never. So he's not going to change for his new supply. They want you to think that because they will do things that you wanted them to do in your relationship or relationship. They will do that for the next supply because they act. That's what they think that they need to do to level up to keep this next supply. I remember seeing the narc change before my eyes. He was acting so fake. I called my friend and was asking, what the heck, who is this person? It was the mask falling off, busted. Yeah, and they're like chameleons. Narcissists cannot and will ever change for anyone or anything. Yeah, and then I was asking myself questions, about self-aware narcissists like Sam Vaknin, Lee Hammock, because they're married. How much I would love to be a fly on the wall to see how those dynamics are inside that household when they're not on screen, when they're not perfect and polished, when they're not wearing their mask, the dynamics in that household. I would love to have a front row seat and see that because I guarantee you they still have narcissistic tendencies. It doesn't go away. They're just aware of it. Relation makes me chuckle every time because that's exactly what it is, huh, Deanna? It's definitely not a relationship because it's a one-way. It's a one-way road with the narcissist. So back to that, they are not going to change for the next supply. They're not going to automatically stop being a narcissist for the next person. They have not stopped to self-reflect how they hurt you, how they cheated on you, how they gaslit you, all the things that narcissists do. They're not thinking about that for a minute. What they are thinking about is the next supply. What they have in here is so empty and hollow that they have to. It's almost like cutting off their oxygen. If they do not have supply, they have to go get new supply because now your eyes are open. You have exposed them. Now here comes the smear campaign because they have to protect that image because of the shame. They have to go out and smear your name because they can no longer control you, and then they have to get new supply. They always have new supply rotating, and they'll come back. Be warned, they will come back. Pop, 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 pop. He will come back. He will try to bait you. He'll try to stick his toe in the water and test the waters to see if you're still going to respond, if you're still trauma bonded. So be prepared for that. Hopefully you've been able to block them. Hopefully, I know sometimes it's not as easy as blocking and cutting them off because some people have children, and you still have to deal with them for one reason or another. But do not fall for the bait because they don't come back because they miss you. They come back to see if you're still going to be supply source for them. Was so funny at Crazy because his post on Facebook says how a person should love other people and yet stalks me through several dummy accounts to Hoover. I don't understand. He came back, but I blocked him. Good for you. Good for you. Yes, and it's all an act what he's doing. Him talking about loving other people, but yet back here, the real him is stalking you, acting like a creep because you were a source of supply. And he wants to see if you're still vulnerable, you're still unhealed, you're still trauma bonded. Yes, that's very good. Yes, protect your peace, because once they get you sucked back in, the game is starting all over again. And healing is going to have to start all over again. And it's freaking hard work, girl. I don't know about you, but I'm too old for that crap. Yes, you are respecting yourself, honoring your boundaries, seeing through them, seeing them for what they are. Narcs will take energy through any avenue, even social media. Yeah, and don't doubt that they don't stalk you, because I never thought the ex-narcissist I was with would stalk me, but it's funny how we turn up in the same place at the same time. And I even wonder if he's on here. I don't care. It was traumatizing. It took everything in me to stay silent. Yeah. Yeah, it's creepy. It's creepy because they don't stalk you because they love you. They stalk you because they lost power over you. They want that power back. Instead of apologizing, he would use his flying monkeys to ask, "Where's my location?" So creepy. They're so creepy. Yep. Just stay safe, girl. Stay safe. Because they are scary. Don't ever put past a narcissist. You think they won't do something? We don't even know who they are, because they're such chameleons. They change their mask for people all the time, depending on who they're dealing with. Oh, let me put on this mask. Okay, let me open my box. Let's put on this mask for that person. Did you stay silent so that person would use everything you say against you? Stop any association with people that are friendly with the narc. Yep. I had to cut off everybody, pretty much. Everybody. Anybody that had to do with him, they were gone. I didn't want to give him any leverage whatsoever. And sometimes I know that's not always possible. But yeah, everyone was gone. I made that choice it's just not worth it, because you find out who your true friends are and are not. And it's disheartening. It's a lot to go through. So make sure during the healing that you process all those emotions. Cry if you have to, beat something up because it pisses you off so badly. You just can't ever wrap your mind around how somebody can be like that. It's so disgusting. It's disgusting how they are. I am so thankful that we did not turn out like narcissists, because they are their own karma. You don't even have to wish bad things on them, because they are their own karma. I remember the ex-narc saying that he looked forward, his favorite part of the day was going to sleep, because he didn't have to think about life anymore. I forgot exactly how he put it, but it was something to the effect that, think of how exhausting it is to constantly manipulate people, constantly deceive people, keep hiding things, keep this supply over here and then this supply, and remember what lie with this, it hurts my brain. Like, how can you live like that? It has got to be taxing on them. So yeah, he said that, like, going to bed was his favorite part of the day because he didn't have to think about things anymore. Yeah, because it's hard work being a narcissist. Although it seems like it's so easy for them, that things go so smoothly for them, but time runs out for everybody. Karma there's no exceptions to karma. None. They eventually will pay for what they do. And the sad part is, they can never genuinely connect with another human being. They don't know how. They don't know how to give love. They don't know how to receive love. And that's truly sad. At least we have that. We have that opportunity because we're able to feel, we're able to love people. We just have to learn how much and who, because we're empaths. So bummed, y'all. I just came across your channel and subscribed. I have to get ready to travel, so I can't participate in the live, but I will listen. I will keep a lookout for the next live. Thank you for coming. Unruly pleasant and safe travels wherever you're going. I am so glad you're here, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And remember to check out the community too if you want to post in there. That's where we connect deeper. So, you guys, I don't know if I should wrap this up. It's been an hour, but I want to give anybody a chance. If there's anything else you want to talk about with the stages of healing, whatever stage you're in, what are you going through now? Are there any milestones that in healing that you've come across and you've noticed, like growth in yourself, like peace? Does peace feel lonely for you now, or do you embrace it? Because I know for me, peace didn't seem like peace. It seemed very isolating, very lonely, very punishing. But now, as I get further along down the healing, it feels like a gift. I'm very thankful for it. I'm thankful for my quiet time. It's a gift. Protecting your peace and your heart and your energy is such a gift. Spot on about everything. I'm so looking forward to your next live. Great. If you're still here, thank you. Thank you again for coming. I look forward to it as well. Stayed silent because the smear campaign came out of nowhere. I did not mean him any harm. Yeah, but you know, the thing is about narcissists, when you try to hold them accountable, they think that you're the abuser. That is a threat to their ego, to everything. It's terrible. You are strong. I truly enjoy through quiet. Thank you, love. I appreciate you. I will definitely connect with your community. Thank you, and safe travels. It's terrible. You are strong. 2 a.m. When you say you did not mean him any harm, AM 22, what do you mean by that? Okay, well, I'm waiting for your response. I want to just show you this side. I'm going to turn this around because the back camera has to see it. I want to give you guys this message. I'm going to post this in the community too. My best friend gave this to me. And this is a message. If we're going to wind this up soon, don't let anybody invalidate or minimize how you feel. If you feel something, you feel it, and it's real to you. Nothing anyone says has the power to invalidate that ever. No one else lives in your body. No one else sees life through your eyes. No one else has lived through your experiences. And so, no one else has the right to dictate or judge how you feel. Your feelings are important and you deserve to be heard. They are inherently valid and they matter. Don't let anyone make you believe otherwise. I love this. I love this. I wish I could put it on a shirt, but it's a lot of words. But yeah, my best friend got this for me, and it's the most perfect sign. I didn't do anything. He just went crazy because I can't come to his party. He accused me of having someone else talk about drama. Oh yeah, that's pure projection onto you because he has somebody else. But I'm glad you were able to block him, so hopefully you won't have to do that anymore, deal with him anymore. You know, just protect your peace and your safety. Yeah, they'll try to make you believe that you did something to hurt them. Calling them out, number one, they think that you're the abuser because you call them out on their behavior. They see that as abuse because you are threatening the mask and the false narrative. And how dare you? How dare you call them out? And then, yes, that's right, you were grieving for your mother at that time. Wow, they just love pouring salt on the top of the wounds. And I'm so sorry you had to go through that. And my condolences again for the loss of your mother. I am so sorry. That's why it's so traumatic. He discarded me when I needed him. Yep, that's exactly what they do. That happened to me too. I lost my son to suicide, and he abandoned me at that time to go off and cheat. Instead of being there for you, they don't care. And because somebody else, like, look at this, someone that died that has nothing to do with it, they are jealous of that person because now the attention is on that person that has passed. And narcs like to be the center of attention. Accused me of everything I did not do. Yeah, because he's projecting onto you. Thank you. Yeah, it was rough grieving alone. I know exactly that pain that you're feeling. And then they add insult to injury. They pour salt on the wound, and then they're not there for you when you need them the most. They take off, and they walk away from things that they break, and then they just go around repeating it. So I promise you that whoever he is with now, he will do the same thing. They wash, rinse, repeat. And you're welcome. And thank you for being here. This community means so much to me because this is like my healing journal too. You know, like I said, when I post videos and stuff, like a memory will come back and I'll post about it because that helps not only me to heal, but somebody else that might be going through that. And the lives, it's like a live journal, like a diary, and then letting other people into that realm so they don't feel so alone. Narc's accusation is their confession, absolutely. But you know, I've had that turned around on me, like with that phone. Thank you for validating my feelings. I feel seen. I'm so glad. That means so much to me because that's exactly what I want to do. I want people to feel seen that have been through this hell. What was I going to say? Oh, the narcissist, when I used to say, it was about his phone, you know, because they'll always project onto you, but then they will go around and say that you are projecting. Wow, if you're worried about my phone, then you must be doing the same thing because you're basically admitting that you're cheating. They'll twist everything, twist all of it. It's insane. Like, it is a losing battle, you guys, with a narcissist. It's just better to save your voice. So that's so good that you did not say anything. Save your voice and your energy and everything because they will suck the life out of you. Yes, you're always seen and heard and validated in the Shredding Silence community. You will never be shamed for anything here. You will never be forced to forgive the narcissist because you now come first. Forgiving yourself first and foremost is the most important thing. And if you decide to forgive them later, to me, I'm not at that stage, but I don't force anything onto anybody. However you move through your healing is your healing journey. They are just proud of themselves because they learned a new word. Oh yeah, and if they go to therapy, Deanna, if they go to therapy, they will use all those psychological terms as weapons as well. First discard was on 2023. I was suicidal that time. I'm glad God kept me through, even though he did it again. But this time I'm not going back. Enough is enough. I am so glad that you're here. And yes, I hope that you don't go back because he does not deserve you. I'm so glad that he did not, because there's so many people that have been through narcissistic abuse that did not make it through. And I know I felt that way. I felt like I did not want to be here anymore. That is what they make you feel. They completely suck all the light out of you and make you feel like you're nothing. And it's a horrible place to be. And that's what they want to do. And they don't care. If they do lose you, they don't care. They don't care if you yourself. Shoot, mine offered to do that. You're welcome. And thank you so much for being here. Oh, are you still in here? You must not be on your plane yet. Yay, I'm glad you're still in here. So what else is going on, you guys? I might end this in a little bit. Um, I just would really wish I could get someone on here to talk back and forth. Is that like what is that sign by the 100% and the what does that mean? Is that Japanese or something? I'm running late, but I had to say something. Okay, whenever you're ready. Yeah, when you're going through healing, um, oh, here we go. They will use your unliving for sympathy from all the people that they've been telling that you were nuts. Oh, yeah, they'll play the victim with that. I'm sure they will. Yeah, they've always got to be the center of attention. And oh, poor me. It's so gross. I'm just so thankful we're not like that. It's just really disgusting. I don't know how many of you have kept the pictures of the ex narcissist. I will never say my because that's still taking ownership and allowing them. They twist everything. It's good to see their bullcrap for what it is. I don't know how many of you have kept pictures. I do this only for one reason because when I go back and look at those pictures, how I see him now is so different than before. Like I physically start getting sick to my stomach and I have to swipe off and not see it. And the reason I did that is because I know that it reminds me never to make that mistake again. It reminds me that what the hell was I thinking? Yeah, I was operating out of trauma. So I'm curious how many of you like keep the pictures or have you burned them or thrown them away or flushed them down the toilet or whatever. I thought about death also. If my son hadn't been there for me, who knows, but I'm here so that narc can have a temper tantrum about my will to live. Exactly. They don't have the power here. Yep, take it all away. Because inside they are just the most weakest, fragile egos walking this earth. Because they can never be who we are. They will never be able to be who we are. They will never have the light that we have. And that's why they try to take it from us because they don't have it within them. That's why when they are operating out of their childhood trauma, they project it outwards. They need that outside validation. We deal with it inwards and we keep all that trauma and stuff. Hope one day I reach the stage of indifference because I'm so tired of this undeserving narc in my mind. And you know what though? It is normal to are you talking about you're still having the rumination like they live, you feel like they live rent free in your mind. That'll eventually go away. Their demons want you to unalive yourself. Don't ever give in to their demons. Katie says, I have some pictures and I don't get sick over time. Those pics come across my timeline. Yeah, the rumination sucks. And you know, you'll go back and forth in healing with rumination because your brain is still trying to process and make sense out of everything that happened. And as the windshield clears, like when I told you guys about the foggy window, or like when you drive in your car and your windows are, you know, full of bugs and dirt and stuff and you can't see, as you clean that window, you'll get more clarity. So, of course, your brain is going to think of things like it'll put the puzzle pieces together, like, wow, that's what they were doing. That's what this was. And the light bulbs keep coming off. So it's not necessarily a bad thing all the time. You're just gaining more clarity. And then that'll help you recognize that in other people over time. So you'll learn, okay, your body will know, I've been down this road before. I know that behavior. I know what that means. I see what they're doing. And your body will protect you. It will continue to do that. I will put your next live on my schedule and make sure that I clear my schedule. You are incredibly validating and empathetic. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's so good to hear because that's my whole purpose here. I want people to be seen, to be validated, to know this is a safe space. And if you guys want anything particular for the next live to be about, let me know. You can go post in the community and let me know. Just miss my energy, not a narc. Yes. Thank you guys. I appreciate your encouraging comments. And thank you for being here and for sharing and for opening up in this space. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. When is the next live? I go live every Sunday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. Once in a while, I like not too long ago, the last two lives. I think one was Easter Sunday, and then the one before that, I was just completely drained, you guys. And so I had an empty cup and I couldn't come live. But it's never because I forgot you guys or like I'm being lazy, because I like to hold myself accountable, because that's part of healing. You know, with our nervous systems, we need structure, and I want to be a part of that structure. But sometimes, once in a while, my cup gets empty and I am just exhausted and I have to honor my body and listen to it. So once in a while, I won't have a live, but I'll announce it in the community. But for the most part, I will go live every Sunday. Join the next live. I hope to be with you again next Sunday. I do too. And have a good rest of your weekend and take care. Stay strong. And remember that you are worthy and they don't deserve your energy. Protect your energy at all costs. And your peace. Structure and routines are very helpful. Yeah, you know, I came across this girl on, I think it was TikTok, and she has this cute little apartment. She's never been married, excuse me, doesn't have kids. She just has one cat, and she has this cute little apartment. She shows all her videos with the same routine every day. She has these cute, like, smiley face slippers. So when she comes home from work, she slips off her shoes and slips on those slippers. She's the same thing every night for dinner, although I don't think I would want that. And while her dinner's cooking, she goes and takes a shower. She puts on her fresh pajamas, and like she's so neat and organized. Like, I wish I could be that structured and like her routine, but my house is a mess. I'll listen to this live tonight. Hey, Giuseppe, you made it. We haven't seen you in the last 3 lives. How are you doing? And thanks, Honey Pepper. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for being here. Self-care is very important. Always put on your own oxygen mask first. Yes, the whole plane analogy. Yep, you can't help anybody else unless you're alive and breathing and functioning. How are you doing, Giuseppe? Good. Good, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you made it. I was just talking about, I don't know if you saw in my community, I posted a image that has the 5 stages of healing that I talked about on this live. I can show it to you. I can turn the screen around if you want to see it. It's this. So we went over all of these, you know, surface patterns, a root, identity, integration, and how trauma lives in your body, how you have to move it out of there because unprocessed trauma is what got us into this trouble in the first place, and how it's so important to healing because our bodies keep score of everything. And when you don't let trauma go all the way through, like process through your body, it's stored there. And we were talking about ways how to move that through so you can heal. Waking up to the fakeness of the narc was crazy tough, still wrapping my head around some aspects of things. That's so normal, Deanna. I deal with that too. How long have you're still living with them, right? I've been out, let's see, about 15 months now, going on 15 months, and I still do that. Like, I think of things and go, wow, we just can't wrap our minds around the way that they behave and the things that they It's so insidious and ludicrous. It's just crazy how they think. So our minds don't work like that. So that's why we will never be able to wrap our minds around it. You drive yourself crazy. Okay, so you're still with them. And how is the healing going when you're still in those dynamics? I've been out for 16 years and I'm still healing. Yeah, it takes a while because I talked about too, like going, digging deep into your childhood because it doesn't start with that narcissist. It's patterns and conditioning that we were taught throughout our lives as young children. And it just stayed with us. That's why we were a prime target for the narcissist because we were told all those lies about ourselves, the lies that you're not good enough and you have to perform for people and you have to manage people's emotions and shrink yourself while you do it. And we brought that into all of our adult relationships. And we didn't know it. We didn't know it, but we know it now. And yeah, it takes a while. It is. Do I blame myself? Not anymore. I used to because that's normal to want to blame yourself. Hey, Stargazer, you're still in here. Yay! 4 years out. That is awesome. I worked on myself for so long because I thought I was the problem. I let him talk me into that lie. Yeah, it's a definitely 100% lie, and I'm glad that you realize that. But yeah, Giuseppe, I used to blame myself because that old conditioning, the old things that we were programmed to believe about ourselves as children growing up, we brought it because we didn't know what healing, we didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, I wish I could have healed 30, 40 years ago. Like, to grow up, I think my best friend and Katie and I were talking about to grow up. She was talking about a video with loving parents. What would it be like to live with loving, healthy parents? We would be so different. It's not our fault. So I don't blame myself anymore. Do you, Giuseppe? I hope you don't blame yourself. Worked on myself for so long because I thought I was the problem. Okay, I read that one. Almost 2 years out. Yay, Katie. I did. That's the really hard part to do, is stop believing their bullshit. Yeah, and that's why I'm gonna reiterate this every time I'm in a live, you guys. That's why it's so important in your healing to sit alone with yourself and your thoughts with no phone, no TV, no distractions, no numbing out, no alcohol, no nothing. Just you. Like, even better, go outside. Get outside and just sit and ground yourself. Look at your surroundings, feel the ground on your feet, hear the birds, and your thoughts will come into your mind because a lot of the times the world is pollution. The noise of other people, their thinking, social media, work stuff, home stuff. Just sitting by yourself in silence and work that up, do it a few times a day. Just start out small because once you start hearing yourself and you get clarity, always picture this: the fog on the window is clearing. The fog on that windshield that of the car that you're driving is clearing. And when you see clearer, you make better decisions. You have more discernment. You're able to pick up on people's patterns and learn how to deal with that. You learn who to allow into your space, into your life, at what level. And when you can think clearly, it's a given that you make better decisions. So that's why I used to jump from one relationship to the next. If someone broke up with me or I broke up with them, I'd get into another one immediately because we are conditioned also to think that we're not worthy somehow if we're not in a relationship. And that is the biggest lie. It's a lie. You are worthy whether you're in a relationship or not. So hopefully none of you are jumping into a relationship before you're allowed to heal and go through all these stages and reach integration and have the discernment to pick a healthy person. Memories come back, some good, a lot bad. Plus the gaslight. For the first time in my life, I experienced gaslighting from someone who serves inside the church. That's why it's so hard to read between the lines. Yep, church. It's sad. It's huge in the church. Oh my gosh. Narcissists are empowered, feed off our reactions, and desire to people please. Yep. Even now, there are times that I experience mental glitch, like somehow he really made me feel like I was the problem. The gaslighting is really something else. Stayed single and alone. Good for you. Yep, they are so convincing. They're so convincing. Let me tell you guys a story. There was a phone bill, and he swore that he was not the first one to call this girl. But the phone bill said otherwise. T-Mobile said otherwise. But he was so convincing with his words that I doubted myself for a second that I was seeing this on T-Mobile. I thought, well, maybe T-Mobile made a mistake. What? That's how good they are. So I totally get what you're talking about. The gaslighting is insane. It really is, because they are so confident about what they say. They believe their own lies. How's the trucking? It's good. I really like my job. I would prefer, though, for YouTube to be my full-time job, and that's my goal for the future. This is my whole heart, passion, soul, is this channel, building it, building our community. VIP, no new relationships until you have a full understanding of why we attract these people. Yes, otherwise you're going to do it again. It'll just be a different face, right? We don't want to wash, rinse, and repeat like the narcissist does. Gaslighting may only work if you accept it, as in if you think you're less than valuable, you believe in their lies to you. Yep. Self-doubt. Self-doubt will snuff that out all the time. That's why they're so, they sense that. They know when you are self-doubting, they have you so delusioned and confused and don't know if you're coming or going, that you're so malleable, they can do whatever they want to you. They know this. They know what they're doing. They know this. That's why when I tell you guys, moving the trauma through your body, allowing those emotions to fully process. And what I meant by that, if anybody missed it, is when you feel a feeling coming up, notice it. Notice it. Be self-aware. What am I thinking? What made me think and feel like I do right now? And go back to the conversation or whatever happened to make you feel that way, and you stop and you sit with that and examine it. Okay, where did I learn this? Is this helpful? Is this true? And then you move through that. Okay, this is making me feel some type of way. What type of way am I feeling? Okay, I see you. What happened to you was not your fault. What they said is not true. And this is what is true. You are worthy. You are a good person. Feel that and move it out of your body. Exercise, punching the pillow, screaming, turning up metal really loud in your car, in your truck, screaming those lyrics. Just get it out. Run, anything, whatever helps you to feel regulated and move those emotions out of your body is what's going to help you move through these levels to get to integration. It's good of you, Glennis, to do this because it must be a strain on you. You're a strong way. It's not, you know what? It's actually accountability. It helps me to be accountable because that's an important part of healing. And I don't want anybody to ever feel alone like I did, and it helps me with my healing also. I'm healing right along with you guys, and building this community is so exciting. Like, I remember starting out with no followers, and look at where we are now. We're at over 5K. We don't have 5K in here, but we're weeding through the people. We'll find our tribe. Our community is coming together, and it's so cool. I'm so excited that you guys are here. The moment I realize they know what they're doing all along, game over. Isn't it sadistic? I mean, it's really sadistic. To me, I think all narcissists are sadistic, because if you know that you're hurting someone, they are telling you that you are hurting them. They don't care. They keep doing it. To me, that's sadistic. That's horrible. They don't care about anybody. And keep that in mind when you think that they're going to treat the next supply better, because they're not. They see all people as objects. They're only there for their gratification, for their use what's good for them. They are monsters. Yes. Because how can you do that to a person and you feel absolutely nothing? It then proceeds to fight for anti-corruption. Oh yeah, they're so fake, right? Yeah, like I'm such a good person. Blech. Yes, how ironic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or the communal narcissist. So look at me, I'm so helpful and I help people and don't get paid for it. And yeah, that's because you're not a narcissist, Giuseppe. I'm glad you're not a narcissist. Narcs do not have the capabilities or capacity to care for anyone or anything but themselves. Yeah, even their own children. They don't care. Yeah, I remember him rolling his eyes whenever he'd get a phone call from his daughter. Like, oh, I can't deal with this right now. What, you can't deal with your daughter being a human being, wanting to connect with you? They can't deal with it. He even volunteered to help other people in their community. Yep. Yeah, because it's all a part of their act. Like they're in a play all the time. All the freaking time. Thank you for the hearts. Let's see, 91 minutes. Image management is so important to them, they would rather look good on social media than in real life. Yep. But behind closed doors, they're completely different people, and people have no idea. Another avenue of energy taking. Yeah, like when I told the narcissist to get out, and all the neighbors would ask, "Where is he?" And I said, "I kicked him out." "Oh, but he is such a nice guy." Yeah, for the whole 5 minutes you saw him? Did you see him behind closed doors? Did you know the things that he said to me in private or did to me? Behind my back? In front of my back? Covert narcs are definitely sadistic. Yeah, they just put a show on. Hmm. Yeah, everybody thinks they're wonderful. They use kindness as a weapon. And look at me. They're always a pick me. Pick me, pick me. So, Giuseppe, you said it's been 16 years? Where are you at in the healing process? Because healing isn't linear. And I think like it will take the rest of our lives to completely heal. I don't know if we ever completely heal from childhood trauma, because there's always different layers to peel through. There's always a memory that comes up, like you were saying earlier. That makes you feel like, well, maybe I'm not healing. I'm going backwards. Why are these memories still coming? But you're just getting deeper into the healing. So I just wonder, because it's only been 14 months for me, 15 months from the last narcissistic relationship, but actually 58 years because here I am, going through, digging in the dirt through childhood trauma and generational trauma. So false. They want to be loved but don't show any. I'm healing but have good days and bad days. Yeah, that's how healing is. It's just like a roller coaster, isn't it? What's one of the things you're having a challenge with? And anybody in here who wants to answer that? Digging in the dirt. I have to clean my fingernails all the time because I'm digging in the dirt. I hate having dirty fingernails. It's like even with trucking, like I wear my gloves and I still somehow get dirty fingernails. Like what the heck? Yeah, one thing I still struggle with is the abandonment because there's adoption issues. Um, You know, my mother never spoke a word to me when I met my biological siblings, and that really hurts that she thought so little of me, or I don't know what was going on in her brain to not even mention my existence. And that's really hard for me. I'm dealing with that right now. Yeah, that's why my nails are so dirty, because I keep digging in the dirt. Forgive them, Glennish. Or to never forgive them, Glennish. Or my stupid mind sometimes wants to forgive them. You know, that's okay. Don't pressure yourself not to. If that's what you feel like you need for your healing, go with it. Maybe that's your body trying to let go, Giuseppe. You're not stupid. We have to watch how we talk to ourselves in here, okay? Adoption creates abandonment. You are not stupid. You went through something very traumatic that you didn't deserve. You were in a relationship for real, and they deceived you and manipulated you and blame shifted you, and it wasn't a reciprocal relationship. It was never connected like this. For a narcissist, it's just all about control. They never want connection. That is not their goal, but they might wrap it up in a present that looks like connection. You know, the love bombing. You guys know the whole cycle. And using kindness as a weapon. That's what the narcissist that I was with did. He used kindness as a weapon. He was very generous with money, and that is confusing, because a lot of them, the ones that I came from before that, were very stingy with their money. So I thought, wow, this guy's different. But he used it as a weapon. He used it to keep control over me, to keep me in those dynamics, so I didn't want to leave. She just she just bit my hand again. What do you mean she bit your hand? What did she do? Do you have to stay in contact with her because of children? Oh, what the heck is that? I think I got a splinter. What the heck? Oh, okay. I see. You're free to share if you feel the need to, Giuseppe. It's a safe place to share that. If not, I understand that too. So you have to stay in contact with her for a reason, I'm guessing. I try to be friends. You can never be friends with the narcissist, Giuseppe. I thought the same thing. Stupid, insinuate lack of aptitude. You can have learned and maintain the lesson. Narcs seriously lack brain matter. They do, for real. It's not just a smart ass statement that they lack gray matter. They really do. They lack gray matter in that part of the brain. The anterior insula, where empathy is supposed to be felt. There's brain images that show a narcissistic brain and a normal one, and they lack it in that area. You can visually see it. I'll have to go find that. There's so many videos that I want to do and have good, videos or pictures or whatever to put on with my videos, but can't ever trust her again. Yeah, because they're not trustworthy. They don't do things to make it so you can trust them. Come here, Hachi. Come on. Yeah, and trust is the foundation of all relationships, and they destroy that almost immediately. But you don't see it for a while because they're so good at the things that they do until you wake up to it and you see the patterns. They can't even trust themselves. Yeah, and they gaslight themselves too. Also told me he does want to go to therapy. Little did I know that was the sign. Yeah, they want to go to therapy to learn how to manipulate better, and they manipulate the therapist. They don't go to there to learn and change for the better. Really, so their brain scans actually shows they have no empathy. Yes, I'll have to pull that up if I can remember, Giuseppe, or you can go into the community and remind me of that, and I'll maybe post it in the community or make a video about it. Red flag was waving in front of me all along. Yeah, it was for all of us, yes. And they're good at making you not see that. He did not want to go to therapy, my mistake. It wouldn't have done any good anyway. They don't go to learn and change and evolve. They go to learn how to be more manipulative and learn the language that the therapist gives. I'm going to Google it. It's interesting. Okay, yeah, you'll most likely find it. And I think that Sam Vaknin, I think that's where I got it from. If you go to any of Sam Vaknin's videos, he is a scary individual. Like, I would really love to be a fly on the wall in Sam Vaknin's house. I want to see the interaction between him and his wife in real time. Let me know if you found it, Giuseppe. If not, I'll go look for it. Sam Vaknin he has a PhD. He's an actual therapist who is in therapy. He's a self-aware narcissist. He's well known on the internet. If you go look up his name, it's spelled V like in Victor, A-K-N like in Nancy, I-N, Sam Vaknin. He's all over the place, but he gives the insight of inside a narcissist brain, and his stuff is really helpful. But at the same time, he's scary. He's scary because I posted a video a while ago about this documentary that's coming up about narcissists, and he said that destroying another human being is beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. Some do want to go so they can gain control of the therapist to intimidate you. That's what happened to me, Katie. That's exactly what happened to me. And then when I quit going to that therapist, he thought, oh, you just can't handle that she told you the truth. You know how they'll just use anything for leverage. Like, you're wrong and they're right. It's disgusting. And he spent money on it too. Like, they'll spend money like on anything. Some of them will. The one that I was with was very generous and not good with his money. He would just throw it away on whatever. Can't imagine to be like them. It's so tiring. They're like a con artist. They are con artists. They're false advertisement. And they con themselves. Yep. Absolute con artists. That's why I told him, like, you should not be a truck driver. You should be either a lawyer or a car salesman or an actor, because those are better roles for you, or some role in the government, because there's a lot of narcissists in the government too. They're everywhere. I know you guys know what I'm talking about, because when you wake up from narcissistic abuse, you see it in everybody. You see patterns, you see the toxicity, like you can almost smell it a mile away. They're professional at lying. They absolutely are. They're so good at it. They do it like breathing, just like breathing air. And they don't, there's no guilt about it whatsoever. It's just like second nature to them. It's disgusting. I cannot stand liars. I can't stand it. It makes my skin crawl. She would have won lots of Oscars. They would have all, wouldn't they, Giuseppe? Yeah, I used to tell him all the time, you're in the wrong profession, dude. You need to go act. Go to Hollywood. I don't think they are. And I haven't touched on this in my videos yet, but I will, like, because when it comes to spiritual stuff, like, a lot of people get weird about it, but I don't want to shrink myself again, because this is my belief that they are demons. They are working for Satan. They're demonic spirits. I don't think they're human. Because what human can do that, destroy a person? Like, they know, they see what they are doing to you. You're crying, you're begging for them to see you, to understand. You're explaining things, you're begging for them not to cheat, not to lie, not to gaslight, and they still do it. They don't care. They have zero emotion. It makes you look at people in the limelight in a new manner, as in they're a narcissist. Yeah, I really believe that they are evil entities, demonic spirits, because no human could treat someone like that and be okay with it. Like, if we were to do that to someone, we would immediately feel guilty, because we are not wired like that. Just like, and I always go back to like Chris Watts and Scott Peterson. Like, look at how everybody thought they were such loving, great fathers, and they go and murder their wives. And I think, yeah, both of them were pregnant. They're pregnant wives. And the other one, Chris Watts, his own children, Like, what in the actual, yeah, they're evil. They never apologize, and if they do, they won't mean it. It'll be a blanket apology, like, I'm sorry for everything. Tons of information about the spiritual connection to NPD, narcissism, personality disorders, and demonic spiritual entities. Yeah, I want to cover that. Like, there's so much stuff I want to do with my channel. Narcs erotically find arousal by your pain. Yeah, it's sick. It's very sick. And that's why, the deeper you get into healing and you reach integration and you just protect you. I imagine this, I imagine, how the movie stars and like rich people have a gated, you have to get in with the code kind of thing. That's what I picture around my heart and my energy, my mind, my body, my soul, and my spirit. Like, I'm just not letting anybody in now. They have to prove it, earn access. And that's how you've got to think. Because you are precious, you are worthy, you've been through too much already. And so you have to protect that at all cost. Keep moving through these levels of healing and integration, self-care, the way you talk to yourself. Like, I'm not going to allow any negative talk in here. Like, my friend Katie calls me out all the time, like, we're not talking negative. I'm like, okay, yeah, let me reframe that. I would always say I love you, and she used to say to me, I love you a little. She knew it was hurting me. Now they know all the right things to say. I'm sorry she did that to you. It's a one-way road, you guys. It's a one-way road, and then they'll trip you up to make you think that they love you, that they're trying to be um, transparent, depending on the narc that you were with. This is my experience. Like I'm saying, being in proximity, if someone's with you all the time, it doesn't necessarily mean that um, the relationship is healthy or that they're wanting to heal or take accountability. It's just, it's wrapped up. It's part of the act. It's look at me. It's a transactional thing that they can do, because even though he was with me all the time, we worked the same job. Um, he wasn't doing anything to change, to heal, to acknowledge all the lies, all the times he abandoned me. I will never forget this when he said, I said, why didn't you just tell me the truth from the get go, about the phone bill? Well, because I already told you one thing. Okay, so you already lied to me pretty much, so you can't tell the truth now? So that's how effed up they are. That's how they think. The former narc in my life loved verbally and then physically berating me, then expect intimacy without mutual satisfaction. Yeah, that's a no bueno. Trauma follows you, Glennis, into other new relationships. Yeah, that's why I say, like, it's so vital to your healing to not get into another relationship until you've healed enough to notice who is a safe person and who is not, who is genuinely wanting to get to know you for you or to use you. Once you learn all the signs and you pay attention to your body, what is my body telling me about this person? Well, how are they? You can feel their energy. And once you learn to honor all that, instead of getting with someone just for the sake of being with someone, that's what too many people do. A lot of people do is jump into another relationship and they're doing the exact same thing. If you're not ready, if you're not healed enough, the trauma, happy being single. And it's important to learn how to be by yourself for a little bit, because like I said, if you can't hear your own thoughts and make better decisions, if you're jumping from one relationship into another before you've healed the last one. That's what the narcissist does, the monkey branching. Like, they don't care what they do. They just go around destructing one person after another and jumping into supply. The next shiny thing, there they are. That the narcissist I was with even said that, jumping around to the next shiny thing. Like, they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. That's why it's so important. If you're not ready for a relationship, you haven't done the work to heal, you will repeat the patterns. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. You will repeat it. Glennis, why is Katie number one? Because we've missed you the last few lives, Giuseppe. Haven't seen you. I know you had you were with family last weekend, so you couldn't make it, but that's why. And I don't know if it has to do because she's moderator too. She's one of the moderators. You're funny. So what else, you guys? Anything else you want to share? What's on your mind? What would you like to see come up in my videos, just in the community? Being yourself can be difficult at first, but with time and your own fortitude, you will find your joy. Yeah, and you will find your people. Like we're finding each other in this group. Reciprocal relationships beyond surface level, beyond someone just wanting access to you and giving you just enough breadcrumbs to stay in your life, that's not acceptable. I wish there was a way to, I need to figure this out. This is so much different than TikTok is so much easier. This is my last question. How should I react when he marries his new supply? I don't know. It still kind of hurts. Now, you cut him off though, right? So you're not talking about reacting to him. I know it hurts, but like, I want you to really believe this because this is the truth that they are going to treat every person like crap. They are not going to stop being a narcissist just because they get married or they're in a new relationship. They're not going to change. They wash, they rinse, and repeat with everybody. Just like we can't just automatically in another relationship turn off all the trauma from childhood, we've got to work through it and heal. So look how hard healing is for us. Now you put a narcissist in those shoes, they don't want to heal. So he will keep how he treated you, and it might even get worse because I have heard that the older they get and they treat the next person worse than they did you. His marriage won't be healthy. I guarantee that. Yes, forget him. He's not worth your energy. And it hurts because have you allowed yourself to grieve through the loss because you're grieving a person that you never knew. You're grieving a person that wasn't real. It's like when you watch a movie and like you one of the characters I like Vin Diesel. I just think he's has a sexy voice. He's so strong and manly, and but I don't know who he is. He is rehearsing lines. He's in a movie. It's not real. That's exactly what the narcissist was. Feel all your feelings, but remember, he will treat her worse than you. When you can feel sympathy for her, then you're healing. Yeah, and I have a video about that. Like you feel free. I know that sometimes I feel really bad. Like I want to send my condolences to the new supply because you know they're in for hell. They are in for a ride that's not a fun like amusement park ride. It's the ride from hell. I am still grieving. That's why the wounds are still fresh. How long has it been, did you say, that you've been away? And he got married probably right when you guys split up, right? Because I'm sure he was with her while he was with you. They always have second lives because they have to keep that supply. They have to keep that supply. They need backup because they know that once they find fault in you that you're a human, they go and they need to look for somebody else. Discarded me last year, December. Still healing. We'll get through the pain is healing. The new supply is under the narc spell, so she'll never believe you. Yeah, they're love bombed so hard and they're so in la la land right now. They think they found the perfect person. They're in for a very rude awakening. It will happen. It's inevitable. Because once Once they start acting human or having feelings or calling the narcissist out on something, it's all over. That's the only way you can exist with the narcissist, is not be yourself at all. You need to shrink down to zero. And who wants to do that? And they're not going to respect you either way. They'll have more, even more disrespect for you when you don't respect yourself and you keep allowing them back into your life. Because the cycle will continue. And the more you allow them back in, they think that you've forgiven them, that what they did before was okay because you keep coming back. Or you keep talking to them, so they think they've got that little slice of the door open that they can have access to you and they can still manipulate you, everything. They know what they're doing. Thank you. If I'll be honest, that toxic thought is what causes my anxiety. You'll sit with that thought and examine that thought. Where is this coming from? What do I believe about myself that that thought is saying? And what is the truth? They only want a dolly on their shelf for them to dust off at their convenience. Yeah, because all people are is an object to a narcissist. I said that to the ex-narc because I'd always catch him looking at porn, And I told him one time, I said, these people are human. Do you know these people are human? They are not objects. And he had nothing to say about it. My ex-monster was with this guy, and he was cheating on her for years, and I knew. Then she found out and threw him out, and I just felt so happy. Yeah, because there's karma right there in front of you. That's sweet karma. What goes around comes around. It doesn't look like it a lot of the times. It looks like the narcissist is getting away with things, but we don't always see the karma that they get. But I want to tell you, I said this earlier. What is that sign again? I never found out. What is that sign, Giuseppe, before the laughy emojis? It looks like Japanese or something. What is that? But what I was going to say is we don't necessarily see the karma that comes to them, but you cannot go around destroying life after life after life after person and being what you are to them and just annihilating them emotionally and psychologically, sometimes physically, and get away with it and expect to live a happy life. Like, karma will get you. There is no exemptions for karma. I don't know. There's a sign when you before your emojis, it looks like an A, and then it looks like Japanese before that. It happened with a couple other people in here too. So I don't know what it looks like on your end. Does it look like that to you guys? Narcs gain karma, also be there, declining health. And yes, now that you mentioned that, their health will go before their ego does. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just on my end then. I have no idea. The internet's so funny sometimes. Social media. So I don't know what else you guys want to talk about, you guys, or if we should start wrapping this up. I wish we could really talk to each other like live on here, but as I said, I'm still struggling with trying to figure that out. I don't even know if any of you guys want to come on here. Sometimes it feels so unfair because he has his flying monkeys and supporting him, and here I am healing, picking up all the pieces myself. Yep, that's what we all go through, and it is really hard to see that, and it's so maddening because, like, you mofo, like, and people are so blind to it. They believe it. They just follow them like sheep, but it really makes you see people who they are, like other people. You see that, wow, you can't think for yourself. You can't, like, go to the other person and realize that, okay, maybe this person is lying, and they just follow them blindly. They believe them blindly. And I have a video about, I wanted to make a second part of it because a lot of this is what happened to me. This is from my lived experience that I worked with a lot of men, right? Because I'm in trucking. So there was some truckers that we were friends before the narcissist came along. And, I thought they had my back. We'd help each other out. And then when I left, I saw these guys for who they really were. They just shocked me. I'm like, wow, so that's the real you. Like, you're going to go along with what he says and you're going to drop our friendship. And just there was silence. And I knew what was going on. It's not loud, it's a silent thing that happens. But you know what's happening because they're talking crap. They're smearing your name all over the place. And it's the hardest thing to go through because you know that you're the innocent one, but they're making you out to be the villain. But then here's another part that comes with the healing. You're glad to take that role of the villain. If I have to be the frickin' villain because I am telling the truth, then I will wear that crown. I will straighten it on my head and I'll own it, bitch. I'll own it. So that's, you get to that point too. Like after that, it just makes you mad and you're like, okay, yeah, those things he said about me, okay, they're true. Yep, you better believe it. And you just own it. You don't let it bother you anymore. And it's power. It's empowering because they cannot get to you anymore. You just take the crown, just like that song by Eminem. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? Yeah, you own it. Own it. He isolated me and took all my friends. They weren't really your friends then. They weren't. Because a real friend would have saw and asked questions and be curious and like, wait a minute, this doesn't sound like her. So they weren't really your real friends. A narcissist, after you leave or they leave you, you will find out very quickly who has your back and who doesn't. He didn't take your friends, they weren't there for you. Exactly. Yes, I'm still here. I just like hanging out with all you guys. I just wish there was a way we could all get on here and actually talk back and forth instead of reading text because I love hanging out with you guys. So we were just talking about the smear campaign uh, and how upsetting it is at first because you really find out, like you grieve a lot of people when you get out of the relationship because you will lose. Let me reframe that. People will lose you. A lot of people will lose you because, and you're welcome so much again, because they couldn't see you for the who you are. They wanted to go believe some narcissist that just runs his mouth like diarrhea, and they fell for it like a sheep. They're just sheep following each other. And what I was going to say before is like the men like to impress men. A real man would have stood up and said, I don't believe that about Glennis. I don't believe that about insert your name. And they would have had your back. But they didn't. They chose to go with the narcissist. So hasta la vista. Bye-bye. Video conference on, if it's, we can do a Zoom. I was thinking about having like a private group so where we can all talk. Or Patreon. Can you be on video on Patreon? Because I've been rattling that around in my head. I just hate to get off of. I'll figure out a way to do it because I've been thinking about this for a while. Maybe I can put up a link in YouTube to where we go on Zoom calls once a week. Maybe go on live for a little bit and then head on over to the Zoom call. See if we can take people with us. I'll look into that, Giuseppe, because I have been, and Deanna, because I have been thinking about that idea for a while now. My good friend turned into a flying monkey for the narcissist. Even though she saved me from the narcissist after they threatened me, I was in disbelief. Wow. Wow, that is so shocking. And you're like, what? WTF? Wow. I am so sorry you went through that. But that's how, it's like they get under the narcissist spell. If narcs would walk around naked, we'd be better off not associating with them at all. Ah, you're funny, Katie. We don't want to see that. No, burning our eyes. It burns my eyes. I already have trouble seeing because I wear contacts and glasses and yeah, I need my eyeballs because I need to see when I drive my big truck. Oh, no naked narcissist. Yeah, when I get off of here, you guys, I do have a podcast I want to work on. Um, it's about what I learned going down the road. I don't want to give too much away. And then I will look into either creating a Zoom link or something like that, some way for us to talk, because I can't seem to figure it out here. My eyes are burning too. She was a flying monkey all along. She wants him for herself. Probably. She probably already slept with him. It was probably part of his supply. That's how they work. And then they'll claim, oh, it's just a friend. I am like, when did you get such a weak mind? I think the narcissist was giving her personal info on me that was very personal and twisting it with lies. Well, you know how they love to triangulate, Honey Pepper. They love to triangulate and work people against each other. They are masters at that. I need to go now. Got to pick up an Azure standard order. Bye, everyone. Take care. Thank you, Deanna, for making it. I'm so glad to see you. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time, hopefully. And keep healing, girl. Remember, never let anyone dim your light, and always choose yourself. Much love. Yeah, so there's Zoom or there's Google. I'll have to see what other content creators are doing. Much love. Wow, it's 2 o'clock already. Wow. Where does the time go, you all? I swear, like I woke up, I, I deleted all my social media just for me to have a peace of mind. That was a good choice. Protecting your energy and your peace. I could never be like that to someone. It's just not in me. Because we don't think like that, you know? That's really sad that that happened to you. I'm so sorry. It is a shock. Like, wow, I thought you had my back, and you see people for who they truly are. They smear your character very early on into the relationship. I've learned that from Dr. Romani, that this is their pre-prep for discarding you in the future. Yep. It's 10 here. It's 10 o'clock at night, Giuseppe. It's 5:04 p.m. over here in Maryland. Yeah, I couldn't do that to someone either. I don't, it's just so ugly. You know, thinking someone was your friend and had your back, and then they just, it's like, who are you? And they're so easily influenced. They don't think with any emotional intelligence or make any like decisions on their own, use any discernment. They just it's like they're going off with a stranger that gives them candy. That's what I picture. Like, you're stranger danger, and you're going to let them give you that candy. Okay, that candy's poison, because narcissists don't value anybody. They use everybody. Zoom would be awesome. Okay, so you guys are all for the Zoom? The journey to healing is really hard, but worth it. It is hard. It is definitely not easy. I will tell you that. Like, you feel like Mother Nature, like, it's picked your ass all over the place. Like you get up. I picture like boxers in the ring, they're just getting annihilated, and they get up. They're barely getting up, and then here comes another knockout. Like, it's brutal, but it is the better route than, because it's like, I saw them tearing down a building the other day, and you see all the structure underneath the wall and stuff like that. It's like that. Once you see all these patterns and you've gotten out of that and you have discernment and you can smell narcissism, your body knows, you can't ever go back. So there's no choice to go back. There's no choice but to heal or just remain invisible. Like, not, you have to come back to yourself. They are really a demon. Yeah, monkey branching and stealing everybody's nuts. Yep. That's so funny. It's exactly what they do. Much, much. 1:30. It's been a little over 2 hours now. I hate to get off here, but no, I have to start working on my podcast. I don't know if I'll get it out this week because it's a little bit more in detailed than my normal podcast. I'm learning to do more things on my videos, and hopefully this will be a really good one. So I want to take my time with it. You're welcome. AM 22. Yes, and you take care and keep moving forward. Yeah, it's pretty nice here. I think it's a little bit overcast. It was really windy yesterday. Um, and I know there's been tornado warnings in places. So it's not too hot right now. A little overcast and a little breezy. How about you? Gotta think of what I got to make for dinner tonight too. It's been really nice and sunny. That's good. I want to go out and lay by the pool, but it's not hot enough, and there's a lot of kids in our community now, so it's very loud, and I just can't tolerate all that screaming. Wish I could just live in a 55 plus community and not. I don't have much patience. I want my peace. Yes, there is a pool here. Unfortunately, it's not my own and only mine. I have to share it. So I don't think I've been in the pool much here since I lived here. Very hot, humid here in Texas. Oh, you're in Texas too. Tornado watches in the Panhandle. Yes, that's what I heard. What part of Texas, if I may ask? North Texas. It's breezy and cloudy. Oh, now you're number two. Who's number one, Katie? Who's number one? Thank you for coming on live and providing a space for camaraderie and healing. Nothing beats healing and sharing similar experiences. Yes, and we're not alone. And you're welcome, and thank you for being here. And thank you for coming back. East Texas, North Houston, Magnolia. Well, I hope it doesn't turn into anything and you're safe out there. I'm Aroma, by the way, from Philippines. Aroma. Well, I'm glad you found this space, Aroma. And I'm glad you're here. Oh, she's the number one. Thank you guys. Till next time. Well, I think since some of us are heading out, I'm going to wrap it up. And again, I want to thank you all for coming. As always, check out the community tab. You can comment in there anything that's on your mind, what maybe we want to talk about on the next live, any videos. Um, what else? And that's about it. Just keep healing, keep moving that trauma through your body. Take advantage of that chart that I sent you. Remember the balloon analogy, you know, move that through your body, whether it's music, exercise, running, screaming, whatever it is. Just finish processing that trauma. Stay strong, protect your space, never allow others to dim your light, and always choose yourself. I love you guys, and I will see you next time, okay? Bye.